Well, for more on the Cosatu Central Executive Committee meeting and NUMSA's potential expulsion, we have on the line Labour analyst, that's Terry Bell. Good afternoon, Mr. Bell, and welcome to the PM News Desk.
Good afternoon to you too.
Is NUMSA now paying the price for throwing its weight behind Vavi and for not supporting the ANC in the national elections?
No, not at well. In one degree, yes, but of course it's not at all unconstitutional what they've done. In fact, they called for nearly 15 months ago now for a special national congress, which the Constitution in their Clause 3 allows for, and that was completely ignored. It's been flouted by the executive. I think this is a sad day for the trade union movement, but it's a mess. It's a mess brought about by the executive. They refused to have the special national congress. As a result, NUMSA then had their own one, where they decided that they would not support the ANC in the election and withdraw from the alliance, which incidentally they're entitled to do, and there's nothing in the Constitution that prohibits it. And now we have the CEC pushed by people like Nihawu and Popku saying they want NUMSA expelled. Well, the CEC, the executive, the Central Executive Committee of Cosatu, the majority of whom, just the bare majority, who are against the NUMSA position and the other 8 unions, they can make a ruling which recommends the expulsion or suspension, but that can only be ratified or overturned by a national council or national congress. So the National Congress has already been called for, so it really does seem putting the cart before the horse. It's quite ridiculous.
Terry, if NUMSA is indeed expelled, what are its options right now? Finding an alternative to the alliance will not be an easy one, and there was talk of an alternative political home, possibly a mass workers' party. Is that a viable option right now?
No, well, what will happen is, and if the NUMSA sticks to what they've said they're going to do, they will appeal, which they have the right to do within 30 days of any recommendation by the executive, but that appeal has to go to a national congress. Now, Sadu Dlamini this morning actually said, well, yes, the next national congress is in September next year. It says a national congress, not a special national congress. Well, that's a nonsense because it's splitting hairs. They should have a Congress, a democratic Congress, because the Cosatu Constitution is very simple. It's democratic. It says that the federation belongs not to individual collective of an elite at the executive level. It belongs to the members. And big decisions, major decisions, have to be made by delegates from the various affiliate unions. So they should have that. So I suspect there will be an appeal. NUMSA has never said that they would set up a political party. What they have said, and they've used the term, I found that very interesting, they used the term catalyst. A catalyst in chemistry is something which precipitates or facilitates a change but remains the same itself. And Urban Jim has actually said that NUMSA will remain a political party but will assist in the establishment perhaps of a united front, a socialist movement that may eventually become some sort of workers' party, which unions can then decide to support or not support.
Thank you, Terry. Terry Bell, a Labour analyst on the line there from the Western Cape. Now, information from Cosatu's Central Executive Committee is that the Federation voted on whether its second Deputy President, that's Zingiswa Losi, should remain in her position. While a number of affiliates were unhappy that Losi continues to be a national office bearer, despite the fact that she was no longer a member of NUMSA, the union through which she was voted into office. NUMSA is scheduled to make its presentation as to why it should not be expelled from the Federation late in the day. Well, our contributing editor, Vuyo Mvoko, is outside Cosatu House in Johannesburg, and we're live to him now. Good afternoon again, Vuyo. Is the vote on Losi in yet?
Well, they've been at it for more than 5 hours now, Kesh, but all I can tell you is that they haven't gone anywhere, really. What has happened was it's been the issue of credentials. As I said to you earlier, they were stuck on that thing for a good few hours, and they still and it's then issues of discussions. Issues around apart from credentials, issues of the adoption of an agenda. So they haven't really gone into the real issues as yet. We are told, Cosatu has just told us now that they have taken a lunch break. So hopefully when they get back from that lunch break, and then they will start discussing the real issues. But at this rate and as things are going, it doesn't look like, it looks like they are going to stay, or this meeting is going to continue well into the night, Cash.
Vuyo, all this factionalism is really at a fever pitch now. The union's credibility also taking a firm knock. How difficult, if not possible at all, will it be to restore the union to its former unity?
I think there are doubts as to whether Cosatu will return to what it once was, because at this rate, looking at the things that people have said about one another, looking at how they have conducted themselves over the past year or so, it doesn't look like Cosatu will ever be the same again, irrespective of the outcome of this gathering here today. Look, leadership is as much about what you do as it is about the things that you don't do. Hopefully, the leadership of Cosatu will come out of this episode having learned some invaluable lessons that will put them in good stead in the future. But as things stand, with everything that has been said, it doesn't look like Cosatu will ever get back to what it once was.
Oh, its former glory. Well, Vuyo, some analysts saying this is NUMSA now testing the ANC's clout in Cosatu. Clearly they do have some influence now over Cosatu, because before the election NUMSA's expulsion looked absolutely inevitable, and then the ANC intervened and NUMSA were not expelled. But does the ANC have enough influence now to prevent NUMSA being kicked out permanently so? Well,
the issue you're talking about actually goes to the heart of the confrontation and the arguments that are ongoing now, because those that want NUMSA out believe that if you allow NUMSA to continue or to stay on within Cosatu, you are actually allowing a renegade group to use its influence, but also to use Cosatu structures to basically mobilize against the ANC. And that's one of the key reasons that they are arguing NUMSA should get out of Cosatu. Of course, you will have seen over the past few years that anyone or any organization or grouping that has stepped outside of the ANC or of the tripartite alliance has found it extremely difficult to actually mobilize South Africans as much as they would want to. So there are advantages to staying within the ANC or its allies, even if you differ with them fundamentally in many respects. And that is actually what is going on now, because the belief is that NUMSA will be less influential outside. And I think NUMSA is very much aware of that. But the way they put it is that they have as much a stake in a Cosatu that they have built as everyone else who wants them out today.
Thank you, Vuyo. That was our contributing editor, Vuyo Mvoko, coming to us live from outside Cosatu House in Johannesburg.